Hey Edheads, Tom here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tom, have you gained 50 pounds since we last saw you? Yes, I have. Let's move on. I wanted to give you an update on all things Eddsworld because unless you follow us on Twitter or Tumblr, there's probably a lot you won't know. So, there are 3 more full-length episodes on the way. Lunatics, the End Part 1, and the End Part 2. I don't want to announce any release dates or anything yet, but what I can say is that the End Part 1 will be Paul's last ever episode with the show, and I want to keep the other animators' identities a secret for now because you have a tendency to, yell at them. So, just yell at me instead. Also, the Eddsworld documentary is pretty much finished, but we're going to keep it to ourselves until next year because it's full of spoilers and stuff. It's over half an hour long and pretty in-depth, and you can thank Elliot here for bringing it to life. It looks a little like this.
Well, basically waterboarded it. We just poured water on Ed's face.
Now, before I talk about the other cool stuff on the way, I need to talk about the Eddsworld Legacy fundraiser and perks because what a mess. The fundraiser was a big mistake on my part. I wasn't thinking straight when I set it up and made a lot of impossible promises. I handled it all pretty terribly, and aside from the super delayed episodes, a lot of people apparently never got their perks. And I still want to make that right. Honestly, I don't know who got what. Things were lost track of, people were fired. Like I said, kind of a big mess. So if you didn't receive one of your physical or digital perks, be it your wristband, your poster, your portrait, your book, your cameo, your personal thanks video, your soundtrack download code, then please email us here and we will try to get that all sorted out. Please also include your full name and the email address the donation was made under so we can check you off the list. Thank you, and I'm sorry. The last bit of bad news in this video is that the Eddsworld DVD is not gonna happen. It was a last-minute addition to the fundraiser and a pretty stupid one because it turned out to be a much bigger job than I had anticipated. It turns out that finding all of Ed's old original Flash files, removing the copyrighted music, and replacing it with hours worth of original compositions was not a $2,000 job. I've spoken with Rob, who donated for that perk, and we have both agreed that it is probably better just to put the money back into the show. So, sorry about that, and thank you, Rob, for understanding. Now, let's get back to the good stuff because there is plenty to go. Because I feel so awful about dropping the ball for so long, I am personally funding a few projects to try and get Eddsworld back to where it should be. First of all, the Eddsworld comics are back. I'm writing them and working with a bunch of you to illustrate them. They come out Sundays on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, DeviantArt, MySpace. I don't know. They're a lot of fun. It's like fun. Doesn't matter. Also, hopefully you saw the Halloween short we made with Brandon. Well, we are also working on a Christmas short. It's going to be quite the Christmas adventure, or Edventure, if you will. We are working on a better title, I promise. Now, because there's still some skepticism about what happens to all the money Eddsworld makes, I wanted to quickly clear that up. I originally promised to make the Eddsworld finances entirely public, but soon realized that maybe the team didn't want me to share exactly how much money they made with the entire internet. Shocker. However, I can promise you that every single penny we've made, either through ad revenue or merch sales, has gone straight to charity. So far, we've raised around £67,000 for Click Sergeant, a charity who provides support for children with cancer, and you made that possible, either through watching the show, sharing it around, or coming to conventions. It all came from you, so thank you so much for that. The final thing I want to talk about in this video is the future of Eddsworld. What happens after the end? Honestly, I don't know, but I will definitely be stepping down as showrunner. When I started Eddsworld Legacy, the whole point was to honor Ed's memory and give his show a proper send-off and a conclusion, and I feel like we will have achieved that by then, even if it did take me far too long. But ultimately, the decision of what happens to Eddsworld will fall to the rest of his friends and family. But not me. Alright, I think that's everything Eddsworld. There is a lot going on, and I hope you're excited because I can't wait to show you all of the things we've got coming. Thank you again, and Tom Scott out.